over the past year, the #1 display choice for 6-scale collectors has gone up over 200% in price. And yes, I'm talking about the IKEA Detolf, which used to be $59, is now $129. And then after all that time of people complaining about that, IKEA goes, no, we're going to discontinue it. So what now? What do we do? For those who don't want to put out the funds for module cases or anything else, or custom builds or whatever, you want to go that simple choice, which is generally something for beginner collectors. So what are we going to do? We're going to go look at their brand new replacement display case here at IKEA. I've literally driven an hour and some odd, whatever it is now, because I live out in the middle of nowhere. We're going to go check this thing out. We're going to buy one. We're going to take it back to the studio, review it, and see, is it a viable option to replace the Detolf for 6-scale collectors? So I'm going to go through all these 4 gazillion people that are here. Well, let's go. In the iconic Detolf right here, like I said earlier, $129 for these guys. Again, used to be $59. They come in white, they come in black, and the dimensions are pretty straightforward. There they are if you're curious about those guys. Let's see what it replaces. Now they do have other options. This one right here is the Mills bow, which honestly, I kind of like this one. The only problem I have with this is the feet. They bow out. So if you want to put those side by side, you can't. And that's a deal breaker for me. Okay, fun update. They don't actually have the new piece on display. So we're never gonna get a look at it. We're gonna go buy one, take it back to the studio, build it. What? I would have thought they would have one on display, but they don't. It's kind of a bummer, but whatever. We'll go buy one. Obviously, I don't have any Luke lights to add for this new display, so I looked to see what they had here, and they don't have any specific lights set up for this new display case yet. They also didn't have the old ones, the dioders, for the Detolf, so those are gone. Fun stuff. But we're going to go into the warehouse section, find this display, take it home. Now I did pick up this Good Earth Lighting 4 LED linking light bar set from Lowe's. It was $59, which is unfortunate, but I did like that it had adjustable temperature, so 2700 all the way up to 6500 Kelvin. I do prefer mine a little cooler, and I figured why not? We'll just kind of test this thing out, see what it looks like. And I believe these are, let's see here, 1,000 lumens. That's 250 lumens per light. So I don't know, but there it is. I'll put a link to it down below if I remember to do so, but I figure we're going to test out, a new display. We might as well try some new lights. Here we go, guys. I got it put together, and let's just kind of walk through this thing. Obviously, you can see the size difference between the Detolf on the left and the new piece on the right, and then Bella and Tucker are making an appearance back there behind the door. But here we go. It's different. It is different. So let's go through some of the differences. Obviously, one of them is going to be size, no question about that. And just to demonstrate that, I went ahead and I put 3 Iron Man figures in this display on the Detolf. And honestly, I don't ever display 3 on the Detolf, but some of you might. If you like crowded displays, that would be a thing. And then I went ahead and put 2 Iron Man over here. Now, the lighting, I did say I was testing this lighting, and to bear with me on the cable management, I did the best I could with what I had on hand without having to go, source a whole bunch of stuff. Honestly, the lighting's very nice. The cable management side, the lighting going from warm temperatures to cool temperatures, and there's a brightness setting. I had to lower the brightness setting to match the Luke lights. So there's that. But I want you to look at the coloration of the glass between the two. So this, the new product here appears to be more clear, whereas the older one, the Detolf, has more of that green tinge to it. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about if you own one of these things. It definitely does. It look more crisp and clear on the new piece. So I like that. And believe it or not, I actually like the black frame around this. Now, you can get this in black or white. I got the black one because you guys saw that's the only one they had in stock. But there's a white version out there, so if you like that. I like the frame. I kind of like that. The one thing I will tell you between the two, this guy right here, this new piece, this new guy here, feels less rigid than the Detolf. Now, I don't know if that's due to the weight of it. The Detolf is significantly heavier than this new piece. It is significantly heavier. And it's obviously it's going to be due to some of the glass panels, and it's a beast to move. This guy right here, you can move up and down, you can move wherever you want. It's not heavy at all compared to a Detolf. If you've moved a Detolf, you know what I'm talking about. Now, there are some downsides of this, other than obviously the scale of it being about 6 inches or so shorter than the Detolf, and obviously the width of it is significant. We'll get into the dimensions in just a second. But with the Detolf, if you wanted to, see if I can open this guy up. There we go. Doing this one-handed, fun stuff. With the Detolf, you've got these rails where a lot of us have gone down, and you could adjust the height of the shelves to fit whatever display you want. And you can do whatever. And you can hang like, you know, I did a posing video where I had like flying Spideys and did all kinds of cool stuff on this thing. In fact, I'll link that in the description below if you want to see some cool poses for Detolf. But you do not have that same type of wire frame on this new piece. So let's go here and let me show you that, guys. This, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. And it's going to be a little wobbly. Don't fall. Thank you. Don't fall, Iron Man. Okay. All right. So on this guy here, you have set points where the shelves are supposed to go, kind of like this one. You've got the little crossbars. You're supposed to have those, but you can adjust, you know, move those around. These guys, you have holes. Let's see if I can get you Iron Man Mark V suit up out of the way. You've got these holes. Let's see how well that's going to show up. That's going to be tough. Let me see if I can adjust this a little bit. All right, right here. Yep. So you got these holes right here. Now you've got two separate points that you can mount those. So obviously I've got one mounted there, and then there's a separate mounting point, and then you've got them there. So you've got a couple options as far as that goes, but I don't see where you would have the option to have unlimited flexibility like you could with some customization of a Detolf. You just don't have that. Let's lower that back down. So there's some limits on that. Now, what you could do, this might look good with 2 quarter scales in it. So take out this, you know, top shelf here and maybe this third shelf down here. Have 2 quarter scales in there. That might look pretty sick, honestly. It's kind of an expensive display for 2 quarter scales, but it would work, I would think. The other thing I'm thinking of is just you're not going to get flight poses out of this guy because of the height of that, So down here, I've got Bo-Katan on a flight stand, right? So there she is. And although, you know, I could lower her a little bit, but you can see that. You are not going to get that here. I mean, we've got an Iron Man figure who is straight up just standing on the glass shelf with, you know, an inch and a half of height left. So we're not going to get any flight stands going out of that. And then obviously if you want 2 figures in there, that doesn't look bad, but that's just because I have them compactly posed. So, and for those curious, this is the NR Joker. I've got him in here looking he looks pretty stinking good, I'd say, you know. So there's that. You know, overall, I like the new piece. Now we've got to kind of decide, you know, it's definitely not as rigid as a Detolf either. So there's that. We got to decide, like the new piece is $100. The Detolf is $129. So I guess the question on the table is, should you go buy a bunch of Detolfs before they're gone because they're being discontinued? Or, you know, do you go ahead and go with this, or you go with something customs? And that's kind of a tough choice. I don't see collectors en masse running to this new piece. I just don't see it. Size-wise, it's not there. Rigid-wise, it's not there. Cost-wise, it's not efficient. It's not a good deal. Like the Detolf at $59 was a bargain. I don't think the Detolf is worth $129. I don't see that either. So you got to make that decision for yourself as well. Lighting-wise, it's a little tougher to hide wires, at least on here. With this guy, you could zip tie to the rail, right? On this guy, you can't. If I'll show you what I did here. And again, don't fall over, Iron Man. You see how kind of here I've got little 3M strips here with cord management. That's kind of what I've got going on there. And honestly, I could probably do a better job. And then you've got 3M tape holding these lights up. I will tell you, for the $60 the lights cost, I very much like them. I think they look really good, and the ability to change color temperature I like. So I may use them. I may put them somewhere else. I don't know. But what are your guys' thoughts on this thing? Let's go down through some of the dimensions real quick. Let's start with the Detolf, guys. We got 64 and an 1/8 inch tall. You can see the clear height difference there. We got depth of 14 3/8 inches. That's how far back it goes back there. And then the width on the shelves, 16 3/4 inch. So that's why we can fit more figures on there. Is wider and deeper. And then the shelf height it comes with is about 15 inches, 15 3/8 actually on the shelf height, unless you go modify yours and kind of deal with that. Now, one thing to note, the glass shelves on this Detolf are 1 millimeter thicker than this new piece with the weird name, right? So what that means is this guy's going to hold 8 pounds on the shelf, recommended max load. And then the next guy, 1 millimeter shorter or thinner, it's going to hold 7 pounds. So definitely going to hold less weight all around. And I can tell you that I would trust less weight on this as well, because this guy actually has little plastic clips that screw in, whereas at least this has the glass actually sits on top of the frame. So I think that one's a little bit more secure, although we've seen plenty of Detolfs, you know, go down before. There's Bell and Tucker over there watching me. All right, let's go on to the next one. So 59.5 inch tall on the new piece, maximum load shelf, 7 pounds, okay? Width's at 13 3/4, and it's about 12 3/8 inch deep. Now, the shelf height, because it is somewhat adjustable, right? You've got either 14 inch heights here between the holes, or if you want to skip one of these, you can get to about 21 inches. So you can kind of get into that. But obviously, size difference wise, it's one of those things where you're just going to fit less figures in there, less heavier figures in there, and it's going to take up less space. So there's something to consider as well. If you have a small spot, it's thinner. So there's something else to consider. Wire management or cable management is going to be a little bit more of a challenge with this guy. I think if I had more time, I clearly could do a better job on cable management. And then depending on your choice of lighting, again, I got this guy and it just happened to, go there. Now there is a hole in the top if you want to run wires, if I can get in here. There is a hole back here. Whoop. Way back there in the back, there's a hole for cables. I could not fit the power cable for this particular light setup through that hole. I do have a step down bit. I could have widened it and made that work, but I decided not to for this particular video. And we'll see how it goes. I'm undecided if I'm going to keep this cabinet. Obviously, I have Detolf, so I don't really need more glass cabinets, and I'm building custom cabinets on the other side of the camera that you can't see yet. But I do like a couple factors on this, which I mentioned a couple times. One, I like the clarity of the glass. I think it's nice. I like the framing of it. I kind of dig that. It's got a more museum-esque look to it. I kind of like that. And it's lightweight, so moving around's not much of a challenge as well either. But if I had to say, is it worth $100? No, not to me. And plus the lighting. So I spent $60 in lighting. So this cabinet's going to cost me $160, probably sales tax. I'm probably close to $200 at the end of the day for this guy. Whereas this, when it used to be $60, was a bargain. It's just no longer a bargain. But you make the decision for yourself, guys. Do you like this new piece? Is this something you're going to consider for your own display? Again, just be mindful of it. This is a less sturdy piece. It's gonna hold less weight. It's smaller, but that might fit your room. It might fit your display and what your space you've got available. It might work better for you. I wouldn't put multiple figures on a shelf. Yeah, I just wouldn't do that. But let me know your thoughts. There's Jesse up top. Those are my Luke lights as well. For those wondering, I have a video on that. And yes, I will have a grid posing video coming in the near future. So for those who've asked, I will be doing that. So let me know your thoughts on this, guys. Are you going to be picking this up? And as always, click what you like. See you next time.